we're going to be talking about how to convert with different units of air pressure. So I wrote your conversions on the board as well. They are written right here. They're also in your reference packet right here. Okay. So you can see them. The only one that is missing is PSI. You will not be asked questions about PSI, but I feel like it's important to include because that is probably the one that is most familiar to you, as that is what you use to fill up your tires in your bike or your car, anything along those lines. So I feel like it's important to include that one. So we're going to start with some of these conversions. And what I want you to know is these are the same kind of conversions that we've been using all year long. So you're going to be using dimensional analysis in order to do this. So to remind you of what that is, I'm going to give you a quick example problem of that, quick simple one. So for example, if I asked you how many years equivalent to did that wrong. How many years are equivalent to 5,942 days? Okay. Remember, we always start with what we're given. So our given is the 5,942 days. So I'm going to put my given over 1. I'm going to multiply by a conversion factor. Hopefully we know what our conversion factor is. If you don't, there are 365 days in 1 year. So I'm going to put 365 days over 1 year, or days on the bottom here on top. The reason that I'm putting days on the bottom is so that days cancel. Years will be left what I am left with. I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator to figure that out. Punch it in. When I plug this into my calculator, I put parentheses around this. Okay, and I do hit the multiply button. So I hit the multiply button, I put a parentheses button, I put 1, and then I put divided by 365 on parentheses. Okay, so I do 5,942 multiply, parentheses, 1 divided by 365 on parentheses. And I get 16.27. And what are my units at the end going to be? I'm going to get years. Because remember, days canceled. Alright, so hopefully you remember how to do that. So now I'm going to move on to these. My pressure conversions. So where these are saying that they are equivalent to each other, that's the same as saying that 365 days are equal to 1 year. So my conversion factor might be 1 ATM over 760 torr. Okay? And remember that I can flip that upside down if I need to. Okay? It depends on what my given is. Alright, so let's start with the first one. It says how many atmospheres, which is what ATM is 340 millimeters of mercury. So I'm going to start with my 340 millimeters of mercury. I'm going to put that over 1 because that's my given. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to look at all of my conversion factors. Well, it says 1 atmosphere is equal to, and it means all of these are equal. So 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 millimeters of mercury. Okay? So I'm going to put my 760 millimeters of mercury on the bottom. So my millimeters of mercury will cancel. I'm going for atmospheres, and it says one of them is equivalent. I'm going to be left with atmospheres. 340 multiplied by 1 over 760. And I get 0.447 ATM. How many PSI is 200 torr? So this was number 1, number 2. So again, I'm going to start with my given, 200 torr over 1, going to PSI. And all I do is put these numbers. I've got 760 torr, 14.7 PSI, multiplied by, and again, I would put parentheses around these, 14.7 divided by 760, and I get 868, so I'm going to round that to 0.87 PSI. Alright, last one. I'll do the last one over here. How many millimeters of mercury is equal to 512 torr? So I'm going to start with my given, 512 torr over 1 multiplied by 760 torr. 760 millimeters of mercury. These are equivalent. 1 millimeter of mercury is equal to 1 torr. So my answer is going to be 512. The torr cancels. Millimeters of mercury.